The HOA president's hidden mansion. I thought I had seen the worst of it. Fake badges, illegal fines, threats at my gate, Karen screaming about rules that didn't exist. But episode 6 is where everything finally started to make sense, and where the real villain revealed herself. The morning that felt too quiet. The morning air was calm, too calm, no yelling, no fake notices on my door, no Karen lurking near my mailbox with her phone ready. I stood on my porch with a cup of coffee, staring across my land, trying to enjoy the silence. That's when I noticed something new in the distance. Something massive. Something that definitely wasn't there last week. At first, I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me, but the longer I looked, the clearer it became. A huge structure rising behind the trees on the far end of my land. Concrete, glass, steel. I grabbed my binoculars, and my stomach dropped. A mansion where nothing should exist. What I saw made no sense. A luxury mansion, not a house, not a cabin, a full-blown modern mansion with massive windows, multiple levels, balconies, and construction equipment still scattered around. On my land, land that had been untouched for years. Land Karen had been trying to claim piece by piece. I whispered to myself, "No, there's no way." I got into my truck and drove toward it. As I got closer, the details became even worse. Private driveway, security fence, generators, luxury vehicles parked outside. This wasn't some accident. This was planned. The HOA president appears before I could even step out of my truck. A woman walked toward me. Tall, well-dressed, expensive sunglasses. She didn't scream. She didn't wave papers. She smiled. And that's when I knew. She was worse than Karen. "Excuse me," she said calmly. "You're not allowed to be here." I laughed, actually laughed. "Not allowed?" I replied. "This is my land." She removed her sunglasses slowly. "I'm the HOA president," she said, "and this area is under HOA development." HOA president. So this was the person behind everything. The truth comes out. I crossed my arms. "Funny," I said, "because this land isn't part of any HOA. Never was." She smiled again. That fake, confident smile people wear when they think they've already won. "Oh," she replied, "it is now." She gestured behind her. "This is a private HOA retreat, perfectly legal, approved internally." Internally, no city permits, no surveys, no owner consent, just arrogance. "So you built a mansion," I said slowly, "on land you don't own." Her smile faded for half a second. Then she leaned in closer. "You should have sold when we offered," she whispered. "Now things are complicated." Karen shows up as if summoned by evil itself. Karen appeared, marching toward us with her phone already recording. "There he is," she yelled. "The trespasser." She turned to the HOA president like a loyal soldier. "I kept him distracted like you said," Karen announced proudly. "Fake fines, fake rules, fake enforcement." I stared at them both. Everything clicked. Karen wasn't the boss. She was the weapon. The biggest mistake they made. I pulled out my phone. "Great," I said calmly, because I recorded everything too. The HOA president froze. I showed her my screen. Drone footage, survey maps, property records, weeks of evidence. Her mansion sat completely inside my boundary line. Every inch illegal. Her confident posture collapsed instantly. "You can't do this," she said sharply. "We'll bury you in lawsuits." I smiled. "You already buried yourself," I replied. Inspectors don't care about power. 2 days later, the city inspectors arrived. Not HOA inspectors, not fake enforcers, real ones. They didn't care about titles. They didn't care about money. They cared about permits. And this mansion had none. The HOA president stood there arguing, yelling, threatening. The inspector handed her the paper. "Illegal construction," he said. "Immediate stop order." Karen screamed, "This isn't fair." The inspector looked at her. "Ma'am," he said, "this isn't your land." The mansion gets red-tagged red notices went up everywhere. "Do not occupy. Illegal structure, subject to demolition." The HOA president's face turned pale. Her dream mansion. Finished. Karen started crying. But, we planned a pool party. Nobody cared. The final moment, as the inspectors left, the HOA president turned to me one last time. "This isn't over," she said quietly. I looked at her mansion, at the red tags, at Karen sitting on the curb in shock. "Oh," I replied, "it's just getting started." Closing narration. That day I learned something important. Karen was loud. Karen was annoying. But the real danger, the ones who hide behind authority and build empires on land that isn't theirs. And now that I had exposed the HOA president, the entire HOA empire was about to collapse.